This is one of the most common compliance issues I have seen on Facebook page reviews I've done. Member FDIC is not mentioned anywhere on their timeline. So a couple things you want to keep in mind here. First of all, your social media site, whether it's Facebook or some other social site, is considered to be advertising. The FDIC's definition of advertising is a commercial message in any medium that is designed to attract public attention or patronage to a product or business. That's why you need Member FDIC to be very prevalent on your site. And even though you might have listed it in the About page, it's not enough. So we do recommend putting it with your logo. So we actually had one bank tell us last year that their examiners required them to include Member FDIC with their logo and on each post that addressed deposit products. This is actually a post about home mortgage loans. So if you think about it, if you actually had an ad in the newspaper where you're promoting home loans, what would you need to include for this type of a comment? Well, the answer in that case would simply be equal housing lender symbol. So remember that whether it's in print or on your Facebook page, you must be able to read the words underneath that symbol too. You must be able to read equal housing lender. Now some banks, because of this, do include the equal housing lender right with their logo as well, in addition to the Member FDIC that we talked about earlier. Now in the second point, with the checking account, what's happening here is they're going to give a free gift when they open a checking account. In this case, it was a free barbecue tool set, and it was worth more than $10. So remember, when you're giving a gift away more than $10, that triggers the additional bonus disclosures that you have to have. So whether this would be in a print ad or again on your Facebook post, you need to be sure and include all those other triggers. Now you might be thinking, well, how do I do that? There's all these different disclosures we have to have. That's awfully long on a Facebook post. And that's true. So what you want to do in this type of case is have something that says for more details or to learn more, and then link to the actual disclosure or to an actual advertising piece that promotes this campaign. So that way it shows the whole promotion and includes all the disclosures that are needed. Now the next one is talking about a post about credit cards. And this is something I have seen so often, not only on Facebook, but on websites, brochures, all of those types of things. In this case, it talks about a credit card with no annual fee. Now what happened in the summer of 2010, this is one of the changes they made to Reg Z. So anytime you say no annual fee in regard to a credit card, that now triggers additional disclosure. So you'll want to, again, do something similar like I mentioned with the bonus, where you'll want to link to something that includes all of that disclosure. So one of the key things I want you to remember is always treat social media like print advertising. Those same regulations apply, including with print advertising. Remember, you need to keep things on file so your examiners can look at them. And the same thing is true with social media pages. Many of our clients, what they do is actually simply print each page, and they do this periodically. There is some archiving software out there, though, for a fee. I haven't heard a lot of detail about this type of software or what kind of cost there might be, but I do know that there are sites out there, there's software out there that you can monitor and archive the material, so they're definitely worth looking into. You've probably seen many promotions, especially when a business is trying to increase their number of likes. Do something like what you see on this page. In this case, it was like us on Facebook and you can win a prize. In this case, it was an iPad. And we'll talk more about that in a moment too. But please remember that federal regulations prohibit banks from announcing, advertising, or publicizing the existence of a lottery. However, there are ways that you can do this that makes it a legal promotion. So you need to make sure that you properly construct it. So the first thing you need to do is to ensure that the participants do not have to give any consideration or money or opening account for the opportunity to win prizes, and you cannot limit it to only your customers. Many of our banks want to, whether it's on Facebook or other areas, they want to limit it, only their customers can win these things. But in order for it to be legal, it must be open to the general public. Now, additionally, you must include no purchase or account required to enter or win. And your entry forms must also be reasonably available to non-customers and customers alike. You need to make sure that these non-customers have a chance to hear about the promotion. I've had many banks that say, well, hey, we'll have that on there, but if we just send them a direct mail, then just our customers will enter. Well, you need to make sure that the non-customers also have a chance to hear about this. In addition to these federal rules regarding making sure that this is a legal promotion, please make sure you check with your state associations as well, because some states have additional rules that you must follow. Now, I mentioned about the iPad, that you'd hear more about that. We recently found out that Apple does not approve giving away iPads for prizes. Now, we've had some cases where the bank isn't worried about that. They think it's fine. They're making sure that they cite everything as they feel is correct. But according to what we've seen, that Apple certainly does not encourage giving away iPads for prizes. As you can see, this slide is about Facebook promotions guidelines. Some of you might not even be aware that these exist, but they are out there. And where you can find these guidelines is under terms. If you scroll all the way down on the Facebook page, you'll see terms, and you want to click on that. Facebook changes things on a regular basis, so before you do a promotion, make sure you check those guidelines again, because they can change at any time. This is just one example, and I'm sure you have seen something like this where they say, comment on this post and we'll enter you to win something or other. One of the Facebook promotions guidelines is that you must not condition registration or entry upon the user liking a wall post or commenting or uploading a photo on your wall or on your timeline. So you want to keep that in mind. You want to follow those. This isn't a regulatory thing, but it is definitely a Facebook guideline that you want to try to follow when you're doing promotions.